had a lot of thoughts yesterday and last night about some of his friends, some of the people he went to school with, who are busy at other things today, off in the Persian Gulf. Lute Olson, of course, 8th season at Arizona, quite a remarkable record, quite a remarkable thing he's done here with the basketball program.
He's a Frank Lloyd Wright. He's a builder of programs. He's an architect. When he arrived, Keith, they were 1-17 in the Pac-10, and since then he has won 4 Pac-10 championships.
The officials for today's ball game, 3 men, Richie Ballesteros, Charles Range, and Mark Reichling. It's a Pac-10 crew.
Richie Ballesteros had the final game last year in the NCAA tournament. He's one of the premier Zebras in America.
And we're ready to go as Williams steps in against Leitner. Tip is taken by the Wildcats wearing the white. This is Matt Othick, and Bobby Hurley picks him up. Hurley plays defense as well as anybody, I think, of this generation with his feet.
Well, he really moves his feet. Very quick, very intense, fights over the top of screens.
They go inside to Williams, the first move of the game by the big man. It doesn't work. The rebound is put up by Chris Mills. It doesn't work. Williams has got it again, and he's loose underneath the basket, and he is fouled by Davis.
That could be the dilemma for Duke all day long, Keith, trying to defend against the great size of Arizona. There's a look at the size. There's the jumper by Williams. It's a little brick. There's Chris Mills working on the offensive boards. Now here comes Stokes at 6'11". And now Williams says, let me get in the yak. And he keeps it alive. And he goes up and he gets hammered from the back.
Brian Williams will go to the line. Davis receding for the foul.
If I had to pick my all Pac-10 team, he'd be my center right now. And up front, I'd go with Don McLean, even though he flies a lot. And then I'd go with Adam Keefe. And in the backcourt, Harold Miner. And the best guard in the Pac-10, Terrell Brandon, Oregon.
Arizona on the board off the first free throw to lead 1-0.
Full court press with Williams at the point.
That's a new wrinkle for the Wildcats, but Duke breaks it very quickly. Go to Thomas Hill.
Oh, what a star he has become. He has really been scintillating the last half of the season.
Thomas Hill, a sophomore out of Lancaster, Texas.
He can also play in the defensive end. He'll be checking head-to-head against Mills.
Othick with Hurley on him, goes in the corner. Muehlbach had a shot, passed it up.
Very aggressive man-to-man defense.
They go inside for Williams, and the ball is stripped away from him.
Thomas Hill rotated over to give him some help.
It looks like Brian Williams has come today with the same intensity that we saw in a UCLA game a couple of weeks ago.
He was brilliant in that game. He was absolutely awesome. He had 34 points, 14 rebounds.
Stokes feeds it outside. Muehlbach's 3. Back iron, no. Rebound, Hurley. Here they come. Davis, short with it. Gets the rebound to Hill. Grant can't get it. Stokes rebounds it.
Duke trying to beat Arizona off the floor.
Chris Mills, too hard. On the follow, you get a foul called on Chris. Reichling called it, may have anticipated it. Mills mostly missed contact on it.
Mills was great in the Big Apple, the NIT, and from that moment on, it hasn't been the same. He got the gold trophy, the MVP, transferred from out of Kentucky.
All right, Hurley will bring it up. Thomas Hill joining him in the backcourt. They lob it inside, and it's good to Grant Hill.
A set play off the back screen, the toughest screen to try and defend, Keith, that back screen.
Duke to the lead, 4-2. His drive inside. Othick was pinned under the basket, tried to give it to Williams, didn't work.
Well, trying to be a little too spectacular. See, Leitner can play on the perimeter as well as on the inside.
Three-pointer won't go down. Rebound slapped around. Othick picks it up. Muehlbach in front. Lob it inside. Lobs too high. Williams and Reichling calls his second foul of the ball game. Now it's George Sherrill Miller.
Keith, you've already mentioned that Arizona has a 60-game home win streak, and much of that success is due to a combination of great fan support, and simply put, this is their comfort zone. It's so much so that during the streak, they have managed to shoot 50% from the field while holding their opponents to only 38%. Matter of fact, earlier in the season on the road, they lost to California and Washington, turned around and beat both these teams by 33 points. So guys, I guess what Dorothy said must be true. There's no place like home.
Well, when you rolled off 60, and even though Christian Leitner indicated yesterday in conversation they had no particular interest in it, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. Mike Krzyzewski told me, I'm not going to use that to motivate my team. You better believe they're aware of that 60-game win streak.
Lob it inside Stokes. Stokes is hammered, but no foul as Ritchie's inside with him. Ballesteros disappears among all those trees, doesn't he?
He can really blow the whistle, though. He takes charge. He's not afraid to blow the whistle. Very
Stokes open. No. Rebound Mills, yes.
That's what they need out of Mills. Work the offensive boards, play on the defensive end. He's got to develop a better work ethic.
4-4 time.
Both teams playing very hard.
Grant Hill takes it in. Othick picks it up. Ball is loose, but he controls it. And long lob pass down court to an open. Brian Williams is too high and thrown away, and that was a wasted opportunity.
Matt Muehlbach had the right idea, but certainly, as you look right here, the tale of the two teams. Wow, look at this right here. Arizona, when they're home, night and day. They lose to Washington and California on the road, and then it's blowout city when they play them here at McKale.
Hurley gives it to Leitner. Hey, Leitner takes it in. It's partially blocked by Brian Williams, and Arizona's going to run it the other way.
Williams has a message for Leitner. Not here, Christian.
Chris Mills is fouled, and the foul goes to Grant Hill.
Mike Krzyzewski, a tremendous leader, coached the national team in the World Championship games. In fact, he cut Mills, and he cut also Sean Rooks, who's on the bench.
Othick can't hit it from outside.
Gotta like this little guy, Key. Plays so hard every time you put him on the floor. Makes some errors, makes some bad decisions, but he's a winner.
Thomas Hill, too hard. Air ball. Leitner rebounds it. He's very patient inside. Muehlbach gets out in front.
You don't see that often, where Duke doesn't hustle back defensively in transition. Arizona recognizes the lapse and beats him down the court for the layup.
6-6. Leitner walks.
Christian's got to wait for the play to come to him. He's trying to force some things that aren't available.
15:55 to go in the first half. We're tied at 6. I invite you to stay tuned for an ABC News Gulf War update with Ted Koppel. Latest news and pictures from the front, 6:30 Eastern Time, here on ABC. Crowd up, roaring.
Brian Williams has always had good games against Duke. In fact, when he was a freshman, a diaper dandy, and the best freshman in the ACC, he played on a Maryland team that upset Duke at Duke. I did the game, and he was really super that day.
Othick goes inside with Thomas Hill checking him.
Got a
now to
mismatch.
Chris Mills. They got Mills matched up against Bobby Hurley. That's what they wanted, and it's good for 2.
Well, they forced the switch defensively, and then they recognized the opportunity, and it was a mismatch size-wise, and Mills converts.
Grant Hill out in front handling the ball. By the time he's through, he will set all kinds of records at Duke for assists.
I would go to Big Hill inside against Muehlbach.
Hill slams it down.
That was Davis from the weak side. Brian Davis, good athlete.
Davis got in front of Stokes. Stokes was helpless. Wasn't a thing he could do about it except foul him and let him go.
Well, a poor job of blocking out. A little high-low right there. Great entry. High-low post scene, taking advantage again of their size inside.
Piece of it by Brian Williams may have been just enough to keep it out of there.
Grant Hill made a great cut to get close position, but couldn't convert.
Williams again inside. Good feed to Mills.
Brian Williams is playing outstanding post basketball. What a great look that was from the post position to the weak side to Mills.
Wildcats, 14 to go, lead by 4.
And they love it here. Tremendous environment. Arizona and Duke, two of the real class programs in America.
Billy McCaffrey will come into the ball game for Duke. Good shooting guard just as soon as there's a timeout. Leitner is outside for three. Doesn't get it. It's up on top, and that'll get the substitutes in. Also coming in for Duke will be Crawford Palmer at 6'9", 235.
It really is amazing that Duke has had the kind of year they've had because they have one really big player. As McCaffrey's on the floor now in Leitner, they have really no size. Last year they had Abdel-Nabi to give them a good post player. This is the advantage right now for Arizona. Look at a great look inside by Williams. Diagonal makes that good look to Chris Mills.
Colin Reeves is in the ball game for Arizona now, number 3 at a backcourt position, and also in for the Wildcats is Wayne Womack, number 30. Sets a good solid screen for Reeves. He loses the ball. He's only a freshman, a true freshman, and now he comes back down to intercept the pass.
Not a good job right there by Hurley reading the defense.
Reeves loses the ball for a second successive time, and Hurley will put it up. No. Rebound, Leitner.
Hurley said, "What do you mean, Mr. Jackson? That was a pass. I set him up." Don't you believe it? That was an air ball, baby, an air ball.
Reeves now has lost the ball on 2 trips down the court. Mills handling it out in front. Womack is inside. He's got Leitner on him.
Good spacing right now by Arizona offensively.
Mills forces one. Sean Rooks is in the game for the Wildcats. Rebounds it to Reeves. Got it.
Colin Reeves will be a special player. He will be a star. He's getting better and better. The last game against California, they said their best game. He hit 5 3-point shots, Keith.
Again, a 4-point lead for the Wildcats. Thomas Hill gives it to Crawford Palmer. And now Palmer screens for Hill and a whistle.
Mike Krzyzewski has decided to get some size on the floor to neutralize all the giants for Arizona. And that's why you see the presence now of Crawford Palmer. See, watch Bobby Hurley. Tries to make the spectacular play. He'll look one way and pass the other. See, had no vision, and there's Reeves. He says, "Thank you, Mr. Hurley." And that's why his assist-to-turnover ratio is not what it should be. It's not even 2-to-1.
Womack getting that last foul, sending Thomas Hill to the line.
His dad is assistant athletic director at Oklahoma.
Kelvin?
In fact, his dad, Thomas Hill, also was an Olympian as we look at Christian Leitner on the sideline. 1972, he ran the hurdles in the Olympics.
The other Hill's daddy is Calvin.
Calvin, yeah. Football player, Dallas Cowboys, now working as an executive in the Baltimore Orioles organization.
Good guy. Known him a long time, and there's a whistle inside on the baseline. Sean Rooks is dinged for a foul as Palmer got inside position.
Sean Rooks has lost his starting position, and the reason he's lost it is for 2 major factors. 1, not rebounding enough, and 2, not playing with enough intensity. Scoring-wise, Keith, he can score with the best big people down in the low boxes.
Thomas Hill leaves now, and Grant Hill comes back for Duke. Grant at 6'7", 205 from Reston, Virginia. Now here's Sherrill.
Well, Keith and Dick, I was talking to Sean Rooks yesterday before practice, and he said that he's very frustrated right now. He's been playing extremely well offensively, but like you said, the coaches wanted him to really pound the boards. But one thing he can't seem to do today is try to overcompensate. He needs to play his game, and let's see if he can do that.
14-13 ball game as Reeves handles the ball out in front. Clay Buckley is in now for Duke. Getting size, it's very important for the Blue Devils. Rooks can't get it to go down, and rebounded by Grant Hill.
Good matchup right here, Hurley and Reeves. They know each other from the metropolitan New York area. Reeves was one of the big stars in New York City last year, and Hurley at St. Anthony's in Jersey City.
They never played against each other, he said, except in some all-star stuff.
Right, never head-to-head, high school-wise.
Grant Hill, air ball, rebound, Womack.
That's the one area Grant Hill has to constantly work on to develop better perimeter shooting ability. Because he can handle the ball, he's smooth as can be.
There's a foul. Foul is on Palmer.
Palmer gives him a physical presence on the floor. They're going to get 2 big guys that are going to help them next year, Keith, from out your way down in California, Cherokee Parks and Eric Meek.
I asked Mike yesterday how in the world he's going to keep everybody happy. Those numbers tell you where we are with this one, and it probably won't be a whole lot different all the way to the end.
Well, I think right now, as we look at the top 10, ooh, Utah up there, I think maybe overrated. They haven't beaten the top 20 team. I know Rick Majerus is doing a great job, but they haven't played against the Giants. In fact, they lost to Michigan, and maybe 10's a little high for them. But this game is so significant for that #1 seed. Trying to get that #1 seed in the East, because Arkansas has the Southeast, UNLV the West, and Ohio State the Midwest.
Khalid Reeves handling the ball here. And whistles, and you stop him inside. You've got holding. Next Sunday, we'll be back in Columbus, Ohio, with the Ohio State Buckeyes, who survived by a breath, and a lot of controversy coming out of that Minnesota game last night. You'll see Michigan State at Columbus, and also we'll have for you Minnesota and Michigan.
Clem Haskins, I think when he goes to his mailbox, there might be a telegram and a letter from Jim Delaney, the commissioner of the Big Ten. He really jumped all over the officials and the media.
Khalid Reeves forces a shot in traffic, but he gets away with it and makes it. And it's one of those things as the coach is yelling, no, 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 good shot.
He's very strong with his penetration, Keith, very strong.
16-13, Arizona leads as Palmer puts it up, and it's partially deflected, and Brian Williams back in the ball game, swoops it off.
See, that's his problem. Othick always tries to make the spectacular. Don't be shocked if Lute Olson doesn't bring him to the sideline. Early in his career, Lute Olson was very upset with Othick trying to make the big play.
Well, no excuse for that. I mean, they just threw that thing away. He's been watching Anthony.
Lute Olson, former Big Ten coach. You and I were talking about Clem Haskins today before the game. We'll get to that point. Walking violation. Oh, they get a hold instead.
That's Palmer. That'll be his third if it is.
You know, you and I were talking to Richie Ballesteros, and we said sometimes officials have to eat the whistle when they make an error. In that game, we talked about Ohio State and Minnesota. They made an obvious error, and sometimes you have to eat your whistle and let a coach do some screaming.
Yeah, but when you run out on the edge of the court to leave your coaching area, you're mandated to blow the tee, I guess, and that's what caused it. Here, the Arizona Wildcats having a hard time getting the ball to where they want it. They turn it over. McCaffrey puts it up for three, and Reeves rebounds it for the Wildcats.
I really like Reeves. I like his ball handling skills, his range as a shooter.
Grant Hill just slaps it down, but hits the sideline. I tell you what, Khalid Reeves is getting a pretty good dose of basketball savvy right now, because he's turned it over 3 times, and maybe even 4 if you wanted to stretch it.
He's a little slow releasing the jump shot. In fact, in today's paper, Lute Olson said that Reeves is releasing it just a little quicker. Look at the field goal percentage right now. Duke only 28% and Arizona 41%, and that's because of intense defense.
Very sloppy play right now. But then Duke likes to fill all of the passing lanes. They're not going to give you a passing lane if they can help it. That's what makes you go over the top, and they just turn it over again.
That's an example right there of really closing off, as you just said, Keith, the passing lane.
Thomas Hill into the corner. McCaffrey puts it up. He's good out there, but he's had 2 now, and they haven't gone down. Rebound to Brian Davis, and he missed the layup.
Brian Davis had lost his starting job, got it back, did a tremendous defensive job in the last game against Rodney Monroe, held him to 4 points in the second half.
Stokes fumbles a hard pass, and the Blue Devils get it again. Arizona, in losing by 2 points at Duke last year, had 22 turnovers. And they're going to do at least that many today with playing like this.
Duke is really having trouble offensively because of the size. And another factor, Duke is not converting off the transition, off the turnover.
Williams almost lost it. Arizona's got 9 turnovers already in the ball game, and we got
that's an offensive
15 to play in the first half. And Othick is right now a little bit out of control. He threw the ball into the cheap seats, and now he runs over a guy.
That's the big question mark among a lot of people. Can the Arizona guards take them to the promised land, the championship and the Final Four? As you see Syracuse with a blowout, Oklahoma State. Comeback of the year, Eddie Sutton. Georgia Tech, bye-bye Louisville. They're not going to have a 500 season. And look at this one, Wisconsin nips Northwestern. And who cares? NBA now doesn't mean nothing. Let's talk the season.
Williams from behind blocked the shot of Hurley. Hurley whipped Othick. He had him beat cold and was headed for 2, but Williams stepped across with that 6'11" frame and his leaping ability and just slapped it out.
And they're really giving trouble inside. Only teasing about the NBA, but certainly when the playoffs start, that's when it's fantastic.
Leitner, 2 points.
He's got a good touch for a big guy. I want to say get well to his mom. She had back surgery.
Arizona ball, 16-15. Wildcats by 1, 8:49 to play first half.
Mike Krzyzewski was so high on Brian Davis and his ability to listen. Mike Krzyzewski, if you had a coach today, the hottest coach in America would be that guy right there. As you look at the recent battles between these clubs.
The series is 2-2 as Reeves is back in, but that other game was played in 1962, and Hurley putting the pressure on is whistled by Mark Wrestling for a foul.
Yeah, you don't want to reach in. Bobby Hurley, early in his career, did a lot of trying. In fact, I picked him on my all-Bill Laimbeer team. Likes to try a lot, along with Don McLean would be the captain of that team. As we look at the turnovers, Arizona with 10, Duke with 4.
You wouldn't want Hurley to be too big, not with that temperament. He'd be one tough guy.
He's such a competitor.
Williams is climbing inside.
Well, to get the ball down inside, he almost brought it down to where he neutralized himself and became a 5'11 player. But then he got that explosion and took it up strong.
Leitner gets loose from Stokes, missed it. Leitner gets it back. Williams fouls him.
There's an example for you young kids out there, known as the ball fake. The ball fake is what really created his opportunity. Now watch, they're going to dump it down to Brian Williams. Now he's going to bring the ball down and make himself like 5'11". See, he's 6'11", little. He brings it down, but then he gets that explosion back up and jams it. From the slam cam, that's how my dunk looks, Keith.
What is this? I saw you dribbling behind your back.
I can't jump him. I
even got on camera on local news last night dribbling behind your back.
Oh, really? Yeah. Did they have it on? Oh. I can't jump over a telephone book.
Woman forgot your name, though.
Did she really? That's good for your ego. That's almost like calling ABC up and you call and you say, hey, this is Dick Vitale. Who are you? Do you work here?
18-16. Now 1-point ball game. Hurley comes out, puts the pressure on Reed.
They're going to a half-court trap now, actually three-quarter trap.
Mills will go, ball's high and out of bounds, off Duke.
Should make one extra pass right there in that sequence and they would have had a layup. Duke rotated into a 1-3-1 trap. Mike Krzyzewski loves playing against tough people, and so does Lute Olson. They don't want to play the cupcakes.
Inside Stokes.
Got it inside too easily into the baseline side, and no one rotated to give any help to take away his angle to the basket.
Stokes is a 7-foot sophomore.
The conference is very young. Most of the teams have everyone back in the Pac-10.
Brad Hill can't get it. Matt Muehlbach rebounds it.
This guy's been a consistent player in his career.
Davis checking him all the way down. Back to Reeves, missed the shot. Rebound Hurley.
Let's see the decision he makes.
Brian Davis.
Good decision right there. A little bounce pass, 45-degree angle. Excellent play by Davis and by Mr. Hurley. I notice you like Hurley. You like these tough little guys.
Reeves peeled him pretty good on that screen, didn't he?
Yeah, he ran him right into the big screen.
Stokes is going to be short with that one. Womack with a nice move, and he is fouled. Womack is fouled by Thomas Hill.
Wayne Womack, an excellent player off the bench. Thomas Hill was one of the premier players off the bench. Until now, he's earned a starting role. There's that togetherness by Duke, always playing as an unselfish team.
Thomas Hill, his first personal 17 ball.
I got a little trivia I want to play for the people listening. Who was the last team to beat Arizona here? They've won 60 in a row. And if you know, write Keith Jackson, care of ABC, and he'll send you a gift.
Why me?
You got more gifts than I do.
The basketball, man. Oh.
I'll let you know in a few minutes who it is. Try and think about it.
The big hill is up to surround that rebound.
Happened in 1987 here in March in an NCAA tournament first-round game.
Thomas Hill.
Nice touch. Excellent touch. Came off the screen. Good look. High percentage shot. Right now the Cameron Crazies would go bananas. They'll all be standing. Love that environment in Durham.
Chris Mills pinned in the corner by Thomas Hill. Inside ball rolls around, picked up by Duke. There's just not much room when they get you pinned back in that corner.
No shot was available right there by Mills. And that's a foul.
That's a foul. Silly foul, Reeves. Collett has come down there and had his pocket picked about 4 times now. He's probably getting a little frustrated.
Lute Olson wants him to call the offensive foul, but he has to know better than that, Collett. As soon as you reach in with that hand, whether you make contact or not, the whistle's going to be blown. He played with Derek Phelps in high school. Christ the King High School. Derek now at North Carolina.
Both teams have 7 team fouls now. Rooks is in. Stokes is out. Changed for the Wildcats.
Another former teammate of Reeves is Jamal Faulkner, now starring for Arizona State, who I really believe is the best freshman in the Pac-10.
Early misses. Rebound Rooks.
Last game, Duke struggled on a free throw line. They were 11 for 25, 44% against NC State.
Duke is leading by 1, 21-20, as Rooks takes it in, and he is fouled.
I really believe Sean Rooks has to work a little harder on a defensive end, and he could become such a star in college basketball. He has that born instinct of knowing how to score.
Grant Hill, second personal.
I'll tell you, his cash register will go up and up and up too if he starts playing a little harder on the defensive end and also in rebounding.
Well, he had to beat back an asthma problem when he showed up here as a freshman. He had trouble playing for more than 10 minutes at a time, but he has apparently whipped that.
Interesting story. If we look at Grant Hill, Kubek, it was about Bob Hurley. You ready for this? During the summer, he was waking up and he was dreaming that a white shark was chasing him and said he couldn't sleep. The sharks were chasing him.
Wouldn't you?
And he finally went to Kubek and he says, Kubek, you gotta help me out, you're my buddy. Kubik was taking a course in dreaming, and he said, you know what? You're thinking of UNLV and Cherry Tarkanian and that 103-73 battle. Forget about it. Wipe it out. He said he finally got rid of that dream.
Dream interpretation of 3 or 4 hour class. John, thank you. It's been a hard season for Denny.
Hey, there's some of the candidates for Cameron Crazies. Look at these 2 wackos with their basketball heads. And again on Hurley. Air ball. He gets us everywhere he goes.
21-21.
So why did they pick on me? I'm just a nice little guy trying to get a college education. His dad is son Coach Keith. St. Anthony's High School, they're number 2 in the nation now, 25-1. Zone defense. Arizona rotates out of the man-to-man to a matchup zone.
Kubek is in the ball game. First time for the Blue Devils. Rooks gets the ball out of bounds.
This is a good, tough game to have to get ready in 2 weeks for the NCAA tournament. You still see Duke shooting only 29%, Arizona 41. And that's the side.
Across the top to Thomas Hill. That's a 3.
That's a great pass. Years ago, coaches would scream, don't throw the ball cross court. And there's an example where that is one of the best passes today in attacking the zone. The diagonal cross-court pass, better known as the skip pass, as Kim Belton would say, our producer.
That pass by Rooks, a little bit late, slapped away. A lot of hands flying around, especially hands wearing blue.
Hesitation by Hurley. Should have gotten it to Kubek a little sooner. I mean, the Leitner.
They go over the top again. Kubek in the corner against Chris Mills. And on the rebound, it's off. Leitner, Arizona ball.
Kubek's had some real bright moments in the Duke uniform. He has not been consistent in his career.
24-21, Duke.
Mike Krzyzewski was a captain, served 5 years in the military after graduating in '69 at West Point, played 3 years under a guy by the name of Robert Knight.
Rooks has got Reeves wide open. Won't go down. Rebound. Rooks loses. And a foul.
Oh, there's no doubt about that foul by Rooks. He can't cry about that one. Come on, Sean, you're going to make my all-crybaby team. Don't cry on that one. That's as obvious. I could see it, and I got the one eye. It's my left eye. It's my left side of the court. I'm blind in that eye, and I could see that foul, Keith.
24-21, Blue Devils by 3 at 4:54 to play and a half. The play has been sloppy. Been good defense, yes, but it's also been sloppy.
Lute Olson was disappointed with the performance against Georgia Tech. He felt the environment was very flat. There weren't any bands, any cheerleaders, and it really became contagious with the players. And they did an excellent job of shutting down Kenny Anderson.
Casey Schmidt comes in for Arizona, replacing Reeves. He is probably their best shooter outside.
Yeah, he's a designated 3-man. They're looking for him to shoot the 3-point shot. Don't worry about this guy. Khalid Reeves will be a star. Put that down. He will be a star in Arizona.
1+1 for Thomas Hill. Good.
The first one. It's amazing to see his improvement, Thomas Hill.
9 points already.
His improvement as a player, Keith, from when he entered the school. They all thought he was the 3rd best recruit behind Hurley and McCaffrey, and he's now becoming a star potential player with defensive ability and offensive ability. And that's a credit to Krzyzewski, Godet, Tommy Amica, Mike Bray. They do an excellent job of teaching.
Banged around and came out. And the Wildcats will bring it up.
See, Hurley likes to fan you to the sideline and beat you to a spot.
Bad pass by Stokes.
Get it to your point guard. He's got the trail man. Oh, right there, better decision than hitting the trail man. He says, I'm taking it right to the goal myself.
Hurley's first basket of the ball game.
See, watch him now. He's trying to fan him to the sideline. See how he brings him to the sideline and beats him to a spot, makes him pick the dribble up.
Arizona just not passing the ball well at all. Duke's got him going just exactly the way they want him to go right now.
Hurley created that by fanning to the sideline. There are 2 potential entries when you tell your guard. You can either funnel to the middle of the court or fan to the sideline. If you got a great shot blocker, you like to funnel to the middle. In their case, they're fanning to the sideline.
They bring Othick back, but Matt hadn't been all that great today either. Mills is going to get a breather. Williams is out of the ball game. He's getting a breather now to come back. Remember, he's got 2 personals.
Arizona is a dynamite team when their backcourt is executing and playing well. When their backcourt's playing well, they are dynamite.
Buckley replaces Leitner. That's Christian's first rest of the ball game. 27-21 Duke. And on the line, Brian Davis.
Buckley doesn't get any playing time at all. In fact, Buckley's going to make my all-airport team. You know, one of those guys, he looks pretty at the airport and gets no PT from the coaches. His dad was a player at Duke.
The co-captain.
His dad played back in the early 60s when he went to the Final Four, and he had guys like, you know, Jeff Mullins and that guy. In fact, he played against those UCLA teams when it all started for the Wizard of Westwood, John Woodard.
Comes off. And the rebound cleared by Stokes for Arizona.
Stokes is a good defensive player. He's got to assert himself a little bit more offensively. So they got a great mismatch against Kubek. They got to throw the ball high and lob right. Should have flipped it up to Stokes inside. Now he's looking. Oh, that's an offensive foul they could call on Williams. Oh, they could call an offensive foul on Williams.
That's 3. Got to get him out now.
He's hot under the collar, but there's no doubt about the call. Right in front of Richie Ballesteros. In fact, point of emphasis by the officials this year in the manual that comes out, it's post-play, trying to establish that swim stroke. Lute Olson's done a great job everywhere he's been, from Long Beach State out to Iowa. Now watch it right here. Now see the swim stroke. Now watch, he's going to throw him right to the deck with the swim stroke. Is that obvious, Keith?
Well, I think the foul, actually, you could have called it earlier if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Yeah, I thought so.
Duke's not having much luck at the foul line, though.
Brian Williams, though, has had a real consistent year. Much better than last year. Should stay in school, though. Hearing rumors that he may decide to come out.
Blue Devils can't buy. There's a foul over the back on Kubek.
Game has been sloppy because of the tenacity of both teams. We haven't seen that real good execution. The one area you're seeing here with Duke, they're really going to their bench playing people they normally don't play, like Buckley, getting some minutes out of Palmer as well.
Chris Mills is coming back and will replace Casey Schmidt.
And a guy that really miss Arizona, Judd Bushland. Wasn't a star player, now playing in the NBA, but he was consistent. Every day you knew what to expect out of Bushland.
Free throws, Duke is 7 of 13. Arizona is 3 of 5. Brooks on the line, that's too long. Rebound goes to Stokes. Air ball, right to Hurley. Brooks. Othick. Little acting doesn't get Thomas Hill a call. Othick hot-dogging, throws it away.
Othick was looking for Mills to run the 45-degree angle and cut to the basket. He went to the three-point line.
60 games is a long win streak. Consider what Kentucky accomplished between 1943 and 55. They won 129 home games. So Keith and Dick, I think the Arizona Wildcats have a long ways to go to catch the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, but the Baron owned the barn back in those days, and most of the horses that went in it.
Hey, we're going to give an answer to my trivia question. The last team to beat them.
Leitner back, has it inside, puts it up, missed it. Muhlbach rebounds it.
Got the ball in deep. As soon as we have a dead ball, I will give you the team that beat Arizona.
The turnovers.
So that's good basketball. Cutting without the ball, Mills. Excellent look. The team is Texas El Paso, March 1987, with a guard by the name of Tim Hardaway, now one of the brilliant point guards in the NBA.
Leitner screens for Hurley. Hurley has it slapped back into his face, picked out. Give to McCaffrey, and he won't go down. Rebound, Othick. Othick down to Rooks, pick it in.
That's a big dump. Dipsy-doo, Dunkaroo, Sean Rooks.
That broke an 11-1 run by Duke. And the house is standing again.
Yeah, most of all, it's brought the crowd into the game. It's been kind of passive and quiet. Now they're alive.
Thomas Hill shoots, forces the shot. Rebound, Leitner, tipped up again. No, Rooks slaps it out of there and controls it.
Leitner really having tough luck inside, getting some good post position.
There's a foul on Thomas Hill.
Mark Reichman with the call again. Bobby Hurley now is going to go to the goal. Falls out of bounds. Comes back from inbounds. Well, see, he was out of bounds in that sequence and then came back on the court, but he had a foot planted on the floor and came back, and that was a legal play.
Mills to the line.
Mills.
Arizona with 16 turnovers in the game. As Mills hits that one, Othick has 5 of the turnovers. Duke, on the other hand, has turned it over only 4 times.
Mills has got to really pick up his game. He can become the factor. He's got to get a little bit more emotional, a little bit more intense. Sean Rooks is another guy that's too important to this team. They certainly have the personnel to be one of the top 5 teams in America.
Chris Mills trying to get within 1 and 28-27 Duke. Time remaining 2 minutes.
Now listen to the crowd now. It's 28-21, but they've ripped off 6 straight. It's a beautiful place. Absolutely a gorgeous place. Oh, see, he's upset they missed him. Leitner was wide open. The guy's sitting on his back. I'd slide the ball into Leitner.
He's got Stokes on his hip again.
Yeah, they're missing him inside. Anytime you get an outstanding big player in deep, with good post position, you got to drop the ball into him. That's at a tough afternoon.
Othick's second personal.
See, Leitner now against 41. He's going to establish post position. Now he wants him to get the angle to the baseline. He said, come on. Now he's going to say, well, if you don't, I'm going to go screen and then pop out after the screen. He's saying, bring me the rock. Get me the rock.
Deron Johnson is in. Chris Mills is out for Arizona.
He gave me an education today, Deron Johnson. He said, Mr. Vitale, he said, don't get Sean Elliott mad at you. It's not Cholla. It's Cholla High School in Arizona, in Tucson. It's Cholla. Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't know
Double L.
I didn't know it. I learned something today.
Is it La Jolla or La Jolla?
La Jolla. La Jolla.
27 for Arizona. Hurley now makes it 29 for Duke. 2-point lead. And at 1:40 to play in the first half.
Duke really struggling on a free throw line.
Khalid Reeves back in. Muhlbach, bigger than McCaffrey, shoots over him and hits it.
Now Muhlbach with the range, the three-point shot.
Arizona back to the lead by a point, 30-29.
I've always liked Muhlbach. He's one of those solid players. the 5-second violation.
Reeves dives, and you get a jump ball. Possession Duke.
Arizona playing some really tough defense. See, there's at times where Bobby Hurley overhandles the basketball and they don't get enough ball movement or player movement, and then they're easy to defend. Now see right here, he's going to play with the basketball. He's looking for some people to get open. Now here's Reeves going to beat him. Good foot positioning by Reeves defensively, and then the hustle for the loose ball. See, their offensive set, Mike Krzyzewski wants him to have the ball in his hands. He's their leader, their quarterback.
Now Reeves. A little over 46 seconds to go in the first half of play as Leitner goes to the line with an opportunity to improve Duke's posture at the free throw line today.
Well, they were 44% Wednesday night against North Carolina State at Cameron Indoor Stadium. And that's really not Duke basketball, especially this guy. This guy's been an excellent free throw shooter in his career, even though he missed a big one, 77-75 or 101, when he was a freshman against Arizona with 1 second to go.
Makes two there, 31-30 Blue Devils.
That was at the Meadowlands, and then he came back after that game a month later against Alonzo Mourning and had a brilliant game to beat Georgetown.
Reeves handling the ball, gives it up to Muehlbach. Muehlbach had an opening right down the lane and didn't take it. And there's a foul on McCaffrey. Mark Reichling has called virtually all the fouls in this first half.
Yeah, he's trying to be real aggressive on the court. Look at Billy McCaffrey. He and Bob Hurley look like they should be delivering the mail, the local mail, or basically deliver the local paper. Playing
His brother Ed, a pretty good wideout up at Stanford.
And his sister plays for Georgetown basketball.
I would think Ed will go pretty high in the draft. NFL.
He had a great game against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. In fact, his performance helped Stanford to pull that big upset in South Bend.
At the line, shooting 2.
Three-digit clock here, 28.9 seconds.
Remember when they got beat by LSU? We did the game as he misses the free throw. Their perimeter people really had a poor performance that game as well, and that's when Mr. Shaquille O'Neal let the nation know that he was America's premier talent.
We're tied at 31.
Muehlbach, a good free throw shooter. Leitner can play on the perimeter as well. Looks at Mike Krzyzewski, says one. Yes. I think it's a great way of toughening your team during the course of the season, like Duke going on a road in this kind of environment, getting ready for the NCAA in 2 weeks.
And the Duke bench has been getting a lot of playing time, tough playing time too, and they've been delivering.
They run a double stack. They want to dump it inside to Leitner.
Ryan Davis will travel.
He jumps in a triple threat position, which means he can shoot, he can drive, or he can pass. But he walks in the ball, and Mike Krzyzewski, the captain, looks on.
3.2 seconds now for Arizona in this possession. Stokes back.
Mike's a great guy to interview, Keith. He's just a tremendous, straightforward guy, very honest, a man of tremendous integrity.
Chris Mills, got to let it go. That's short. And the half is over. So at halftime, we're right where we started, all even, 31-31. And we'll be back with ABC's college basketball after this message and a word from our ABC station.
ABC's college basketball, brought to you by the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out. And by Ford Motor Company.
Our game has been tied 7 times in the first half, 4 lead changes, neither team playing very well offensively. Both teams banging the tar out of each other defensively.
Keith, I think if you were Mike Krzyzewski and you could shoot 27% on the road, 10 for 36, and have a chance to win, to be tied against a team that's won 60 in a row, you'd say, I can't believe it. Look at the rebound totals. Arizona doesn't shock us, 29-17 turnovers, though. Arizona 16, Duke only 5, and the real difference there, and that's why UNLV is super. When you turn the ball over against the running Rebels, they make you pay big time because they score. Duke did not take advantage of the 16 turnovers.
Duke has 10 steals. Leitner has 5 of those. Leitner has 10 points. Mills has 10 points to lead the respective teams in scoring.
Hey, I think you were telling me off the air, maybe Las Cruces, tough spot for UNLV?
Oh, guarantee you. Oh, it's tough for anybody.
Tomorrow night. You know, they lost there last year. They got 29 in a row on New Mexico State. I'm going up to Las Cruces. I can't wait to get there. You going to drive me up there?
No.
4 hours?
Nope. I'm going to drive to Kerfree. Saved by Williams. He's got 3 fouls, remember now, as you've got Mills and Muehlbach, Othick, Williams, and Stokes on the floor for Arizona. Mills puts it up, and Mills is fouled by Thomas Hill. Christian Leitner out. Brian Davis, Grant Hill, and Bobby Hurley on the floor for the Duke Blue Devils.
Chris Mills got in a one-on-one situation on a wing and drew the contact from Hill. But had he reversed the ball and they swung it to the other side, they had a great entry inside to Brian Williams, who was sealing really well offensively.
Thomas Hill with that foul, now 3. Palmer has 3, and Brian Williams the only Wildcat with 3.
Mills played on an amazing high school team. His teammate was Sean Higgins, now playing in the NBA, who left school early, who I've said time and time again, he and Marcus Liberty should have stayed in school.
31-31 tie is broken now with that free throw as Arizona goes to a 1-point lead. Grant Hill will take it inside. And they call a foul on Chris Mills.
Grant Hill has great body control, excellent hang time as he twists and turns down the lane. That's reminiscent of his dad. That's a reminiscent of Calvin taking the pigskin for the Dallas Cowboys. He used to spot openings like this. Look at him seal, hang, twist. He's going to be a great one, as you said earlier, Keith. He's going to be a special player at Duke.
Yeah, but he's a baby. Freshman, true freshman, 6'7", 205. He'll probably, by the time he's a junior, play at 220, 215 at least.
He was one of the top 5 freshmen in America in most polls last year. See Bobby Hurley bringing him to the sideline. And he comes back the other way on him. He was trying to lead him to the sideline, fan him to the sideline.
Good pass inside to Brian Williams, and he is fouled by Grant Hill. Well, the Duke Blue Devils live in Durham, North Carolina. Tonight we got Bull Durham, the baseball movie. Oscar nominee Kevin Costner, Susan Sarandon starring in the comedy that was so much fun to see. It's at 9 Eastern, 8 Central Time, the ABC Sunday night movie. Who was the most famous most famous Durham baseball player?
I don't know. Oh, I know. Wait. Roger Craig.
Ace Parker.
Oh, Ace Parker. What about Roger Craig? Didn't he come from Durham? I think Roger Craig, the manager of the Giants, came from there as well. I'm a baseball nut.
No, Ace Parker, though, he's a legend around there.
We'll give you that one.
The Durham Bulls was the name of the team. I used to go watch them.
It was a good
Brian Davis got loose and he's fouled. Didn't get the basket, but Stokes whacked him. Here's Cheryl Miller.
Well, you guys, this was the thoughts from the coaches coming out of the first half. For Duke, defensively, they felt very good. They were pleased with their rebounding efforts. This half, look for them to slow down the tempo and exercise a little more patience offensively. For Arizona, simply too many turnovers. They were also happy with their defense, but their big thing, get the ball down low to the big fellas.
Just like Southern Cal did with Cheryl Miller. Get the ball to Cheryl.
I thought you were going to the Iditarod, too. That's where Jack Arute packed up his knapsack, his TP, all of his cold weather clothes, and took off. Cheryl's been doing analyst work for our regional telecast. back with us.
Should be sending me to the sideline. Look at Mike. Look at Hurley working on Arthur.
36-34, Duke leads.
He loves to play defense.
Pass inside to Brian Williams, fouled again, and it's on Brian Davis.
Brian Williams has to just play basketball. He's starting to talk a little bit too much on the floor, nodding his head, looking at officials. Brian's got to play basketball, not impersonate Don McLean.
Nice soft touch.
He has an excellent touch. Started his career under Bob Wade at Maryland. He's one of the premier freshmen in the nation. He's been a traveling man. Played at like 3 different high schools. In fact, he and Arthur played together in Vegas they played at Bishop Gorman High School.
Even again at 36. Davis found the hole, missed the shot. Rebound, Othick. Ahead to Mills.
Othick had a tough first half, had 5 turnovers.
Nice play, Muhlbach.
That was a great defensive play, like a defensive back. Ronnie Lott right there.
Othick open.
That's what they need out of their guards. The perimeter jumper will make life easy for their big people.
39-36. First point of the game for Othick. Inside, Leitner on the baseline is fouled by Stokes. His second personal foul. Saturday, ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour. $150,000 Fairlanes Open. Then at 4:30, 3:30 Central, Riddick Bowe and Terrell Biggs will go after each other. Young heavyweights. Bowe the younger. Then you got Herschel and Barry and Pepper and Jerry and a whole bunch of them in the Jeep Superstars. And the start of the Iditarod Trail Sled Dog Race. Saturday here on ABC Sports.
Duke is really having a tough time on a free throw line in their last 2 games. Christian made an excellent cut to the basket. Good diagonal move against the 2 giants, both against Stokes and Williams.
Got one of the 2. 39-37 ball game and 18 minutes to go.
You young kids, watch the balance of Hurley defensively. His stance, mid-points, he sees ball, you man.
I remember the first time I saw him, it struck me how well he played with his feet. Brian Williams.
Oh, the big fella says, hey, baby, this is Jam City. They love it here in Tucson.
Good pass, shot by Thomas Hill.
Hill did a great job recognizing the hole in the defense, slid in, caught the ball, squared his body, and shot the little jump shot.
Muhlbach kind of running the show right now for the Wildcats.
Duke hedged on defense. Leitner stepping out.
Thomas Hill down for a moment. Time called as Thomas took a hard call. Ballesteros called that timeout in behalf of Thomas Hill.
Brian Williams has really worked a lot harder this year to get post position. Look at him right now, trying to lock inside, sitting down real low. Look, he's going to beat Leitner to the spot. And now he's got the great baseline look, and no one rotates over. Don't stick your tongue out me, Brian. Come on now, Michael Jordan.
He does get wound up. He had 4 points playing 10 minutes in the first half. He's got 6 points in 3 minutes here in the second half.
Lute Olson's done an amazing job with Williams, developing some work ethic, developing intensity on the floor. See, they're in that matchup zone defense now. Neil McCarthy of New Mexico State plays a great matchup.
Grant Hill tries to use a Leitner pick, can't get it. Hurley's shot, no, and rebounded by Muhlbach.
Hurley shoots the three-point shot a lot better when he's directly on top of the circle.
Mills to the outside. Mills been pretty quiet today, almost loses the ball.
He's too nonchalant for me, too passive, Chris.
He's on the baseline, and you got a blocking call against Thomas Hill. Close.
He's got all the talent, too. his freshman year at Kentucky, led him in rebounding, was an outstanding scorer as well. Hey, isn't it a great story, Eddie Sutton coming back like he has down at Oklahoma State?
4 fouls now on Thomas Hill. So he's got to come out of there, and Billy McCaffrey comes in to replace him.
Billy McCaffrey's been struggling shooting the ball. Thomas Hill's been a real star. Mike Krzyzewski could go on hour and hour about Thomas Hill and his development.
Chris Mills takes it inside, can't get it. Rebound up there by Williams, won't go down, and a foul on Mills.
Leitner also has ability to rip the ball off the glass and penetrate with the dribble up the court. In fact, Duke loves dribble penetration in their half-court game.
Mills has got 3 now to go with Williams. 16-18 to go in the game, 41-39. Arizona leads a 60-game home winning string on the line.
That's an amazing number, Keith. When you think about the parity in college basketball, Lute Olson should be so proud. 60 in a row at home. There's that zone defense, protecting their big people as well.
Hurley got it.
He got the good look at the basket. That's been the one rap on Bobby Hurley. Can he shoot the long-range jump shot? His brother Danny can shoot it. He's going to Seton Hall. Might be player of the year this year in New Jersey.
Duke back to a 1-point lead at 42-41, and Charlie Raines whistled it.
Look at Hurley doing a little coaching with Charlie Raines. Look at Bobby going to do a little coaching. Learn from Papa. They have a junior at his high school named Roderick Rhodes. And a lot of people say Rhodes and Jason Kidd are the 2 best juniors in America. And Kentucky is in a hunt with both of them. And some people say Rhodes will definitely visit Arizona and Ohio State.
1-point lead for the Devils. We've got 15:40 to play in the ball game. 41-42. Duke has the 42.
Well, the Hoosiers are getting mad at someone after losing that game to Iowa at home. What a great win for Iowa. Winning at Bloomington. Here right now, Wake Forest really putting a hurt on Clemson.
They must have found something, you know that? The Deacons.
They got a great freshman by the name of Rodney Rogers. In fact, I'm going to be picking my old diaper Dandy's best 5 in America freshman. And you're going to believe Rodney Rogers will be on the team.
Williams has got it inside. Put the shoulder into Leitner and got away with it.
He got away with it, but that was an excellent move too, Keith. What I liked is his ball fake and a head fake. Those are 2 fakes for your young kids to work on. A ball fake and a head fake. See the 1-1-3 matchup.
McCaffrey misses. Up for the rebound, Brian Williams. He holds it until he can get it to the quick man. 43-42, Arizona by 1. Into Stokes. He got a roll.
They go into their 2 big people. They alternate. First they go into Williams. Then they come back with the other 7-footer, Stokes. And the crowd stands and gets jubilant.
And Arizona goes to the zone and come away with the ball.
Right now, this basket will have this place explode if they score here. I'd slide it into Williams. He wants it against Leitner.
Gives it up to Stokes. And Stokes is fouled by Grant Hill.
Arizona really executing a lot better now in their half-court offense. Their offensive efficiency rating would be a lot higher here in the last 5 minutes than earlier in the game.
Grant Hill 3 fouls. Thomas Hill 4 fouls. Crawford Palmer 3 for Duke.
Grant Hill came in heralded like the supers down in North Carolina. Charlie Pierce did a tremendous article about their program in the National, and I'll tell you what, Keith, you better believe that those freshmen are not playing now, but they will become an outstanding team at North Carolina.
Well, I don't think what with the incoming people at Mike Krzyzewski's sign, they're not going to concede anything over there in Durham.
I'll tell you what, Cherokee Parks will really help this team. Big 6'11", very active player. They'll give them some balance between their perimeter and their baseline.
4-point lead for Arizona, 46-42.
See, McCaffrey can become big now against the zone defense. They got to find a gap and get it to McCaffrey.
Davis takes it away from Eubuck. Back to Leitner.
Nice pass by Hill into Leitner. See, the one good asset they have at Duke, they can all handle the basketball. They're into the game. Very intelligent players. Grant Hill is so bright on the floor, as is Brian Davis. Look at Leitner now. He's going to slide on the baseline. He's going to get right into the seam, catches the bounce pass, and jams. Offensive foul.
That's a foul. Othick.
Good call by Charlie Range. Matt has had a tough day. His dad was a coach. Roland coached at Wichita State.
He's got 3 personal fouls now to go with Mills and Williams.
Lute Olson.
That was pretty close, that last one.
Frank Lloyd Wright, a real architect. Sitting to his right, Tony McAndrew, former coach at Colorado State, does a great job in game preparation, as does Peter Gannett for Duke.
Leitner outside with Othick on him. I mean, it's the ultimate mismatch, but it doesn't result in anything. That brings it up. Inside. A foul.
A lot of fouling going on and really attacking one another. Duke trying to beat him with quickness against the physical strength and the size of the two 6'11", well, 6'11" and 7 feet.
Grant Hill now with 4, Thomas Hill with 4, so you would have to say the Hill brothers have got a problem?
They're in trouble, yeah.
I didn't say that.
No, not related. Grant Hill, is he going to be a good one? The 4 fouls right here, but this guy handles the ball well. He could even play the point guard position.
Now, he's big.
6'8".
He's a big guy. Stokes, who's a 7-footer. Missed it. Rebound goes to Greg Kubek. Long pass to Christian Leitner to the baseline. He traveled.
He walks with the ball, and that was a tremendous catch right there. The play wasn't there, though. They should not even have looked in that sequence to Leitner.
Crawford Palmer is back for Duke.
He's trying to buy some minutes out of Palmer for his size and his strength to neutralize the big guys inside.
Stokes over Palmer, good.
Stokes, excellent job of posting inside.
He doesn't know how good he can be.
Exactly. He's another one that's got to raise it a notch in terms of intensity. Arizona's staff does an excellent job of teaching big man moves.
Palmer, double team, sealed off. Back to Hurley. Bingo. 3.
That was McCaffrey. McCaffrey right there.
McCaffrey.
Yep. They look alike, I guess.
48-47. 1 point. Arizona lead.
He's the guy that can hurt that zone, McCaffrey. They got to find him in the gaps of that zone. Well, they had Williams sitting down in the box inside. There it is.
Over Leitner. Won't go. Rebound Hurley. To McCaffrey.
See, right now they're going to show some patience against that zone. Get the ball in the hands of either Kubek to shoot it or McCaffrey.
Leitner shot out of the corner, won't go down. And the rebound is off to Williams.
No rebounding power at all when Leighton is shooting the ball from the baseline. Christian is there, big-time rebounder inside.
Well, there's 3 Wildcats there and no blue.
See, look at Leitner. He's frustrated. He wants the ball. He says, please give me the ball. Look at the hands are up in the air.
Kubek gets 1.
And Kubek can give him a little spark off the bench.
That's a 2-point lead for Duke off that 3-pointer. Here's Kubek's first points of the game, and it's 50-48.
And the reason they're leading has nothing to do with shooting the basketball. Is their defensive ability, their defensive tenacity.
There's a whistle. And a foul on McCaffrey.
There's that old adage in coaching, Keith. If you play solid on the defensive end and you don't have a bad night defensively, you can hang and make up for the inefficient ability of shooting the ball. Well, that doesn't shock us.
The one thing about Duke's defense, though, when it's working for them, they're starting their offense about 15 feet closer to the opposition basket than your average team.
They really pressure on the ball. They really play great denial. They have 4 concepts to their defense. Pressure the ball 1, 2 deny on the wings, 3 beat the cutter to the basketball, and 4 finalize by blocking out.
Stokes on the line. He hasn't had a lot of luck there today, and he still hasn't.
He's really struggling on the free throw line. Violation on Leitner gives him another opportunity. Another 1-on-1. Could be big in a close game. I go come and haunt you. Little things like that can haunt you, just like the play by McLean when he threw the ball at Williams. You say maybe it's minor, but something like that can really turn the tide in a 1-point game. Like Krzyzewski's having a relaxing day sitting on the scorer's table.
Well, the difference right there is,
He's relaxed. He said, what's this? No big deal. I've been through a lot of big games. 4 times to the Final Four in the last 5 years. I was teasing him. I said, you know, some people are calling you Bud Grant. You can get there but can't come home with the gold. He says, I'd like to get there 8 more years if it means he's getting there.
Right. Go back in the corner to Palmer. Palmer whips it out, frees McCaffrey, and he got another one.
That's the excellent look, looking for McCaffrey, as we talked about earlier, spotting up against the zone with the skip pass.
Duke a 2-point lead. Palmer slaps the shot out of there, out of bounds. Cats keep it. Time called 11:38 to play in the contest. And the visitor, Duke leads home Arizona by 2.
Welcome back. Duke right now with a narrow 2-point lead, leading Arizona 52-50. Well, there has been 5 close calls at the McKale Center within the 60 home game win streaks. One was in 1987, which was the number 6 win of the streak. Duke lost 91-85. So guys, Duke has a history of coming in here and playing the Wildcats pretty tough.
They also broke that great streak, Cheryl, down in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's right now on another streak that Billy Tubbs doesn't like. He's getting L after L. But at that time, they were playing well. They had a 51-game win streak. On December 22nd, it was bye-bye by Duke.
Mills for 3. Doesn't get it. Kubek rebounds it for Duke. Duke leading 52-50. This may be a pivotal time in this ball game right here. Leitner's inside with a head fake. Count it. Foul.
That was a great move by Leitner. He gives the head fake, the ball fake, gets the defensive player to react to the fake. Now watch right now. Here's Hurley going to make that dump down. A good bounce pass inside. Now watch right here. Takes the ball up to the goal. Now there's the ball fake. As he gets him up in the air, gets the ball back up in the air, comes back down, hangs in the air, says count it. He's become such a tough clutch player lately.
Womack the foul. Williams has got to come back. Leitner makes the 3-point play, and it's a 5-point lead for Duke.
Williams showing the kind of offense he wants to run. Leitner loves playing against big people. He really, really gets excited about playing against all these so-called big names.
Reeves picked up his dribble. McCaffrey eating him up. He finally saves it to Muehlbach. Sean Rooks is in the ball game. Had the shot, gave it away. Rooks had the shot. Now he's fouled by Palmer, probably, or Kubek. Kubek's begging it. He wants it because it would be 4 on Palmer.
They can't really match up on Rooks inside. Kubek doesn't have the size, and plus Rooks has got great skills offensively. Crawford Palmer right there gets his 4th foul. Muehlbach's going to dump it to
Rooks. Gave it to Kubek. He begged it.
Yeah. See, look at the head fake. See, right there, he was so close to the goal at 6'11". He should have just laid it up, but he said, you know what? I want to be like the Magic Man. I want to twist and turn and dance. Not many teams can go to your bench and come out with a Reeves, a Womack, and a Rooks.
Nope. Williams gets the deep rebound. Ball slapped away from him, saved by Womack. Reeves takes it inside, gives it back to Wayne. He tries to drive the baseline, and they call a foul on Kubek for blocking.
The one ingredient that's common to both these teams, very unselfish, and that's because of their coaching. The coaching of both clubs, they stress, give the ball to the open man. See the big guys inside. They really try to take advantage of big guys. Look at Williams posted. He's saying if you reverse the ball, look, I got inside position. And then you sneak a guy in a baseline with the quickness of Womack at about 6'8". Womack could start for a lot of colleges in America.
Womack making the first. His first point of the ball game.
You got to be a master psychologist as a coach to keep people of that talent happy.
Rooks misses a layup, now gets it back. So Rooks had 2 rebounds inside and finally makes it, and it's a 1-point game. 55-54 Duke. There's a foul. Palmer now has 4.
Crawford has not really developed like I thought he would as a player and given him a lot of quality time. He started off getting more time earlier in the season. I mean, is there any doubt about that, Keith?
Palmer's gone. That's his 5th.
There's no doubt about that foul. Yeah, they had the other one on Palmer as well. I can't get over the poise and how calm Mike Krzyzewski is on his sideline.
10:31 to go, a 1-point ball game on the road.
60 in a row. We keep emphasizing that. The longest win streak in college basketball right here. 60 in a row at 10:31, down 1.
He's got to come back with Thomas Hill now, and Thomas has 4 fouls. Grant Hill has 4 fouls.
Look at that hairdo. I like that hairdo, Keith. Maybe they can loan it to me.
I know the guy that makes it. He used to be a drag racer. That's the Wildcat colors, blue and red.
Beautiful athletic facilities outside. Baseball teams playing. Joey Kindle does a great job for the Cubs. Player, he was talking to Mike Krzyzewski, and I'll tell you, it was unbelievable. He walked in, he said to Mike Krzyzewski, I just want to come and say hello, Mike, because I want to tell you, I've been watching your team for years, and I really appreciate the class that they represent. And I thought it was great that he walked in, and Mike certainly thanked him.
Womack misses the rebound tip, and we're tied at 55.
Every possession now gets big. Rooks and Leitner going head-to-head.
Kuback finds some daylight.
They want him to count the basket, Krzyzewski's. It depends on where he gets the foul. Yes, sir, they're going to count it.
Foul on number 3. Gets their personal 17 foul.
Reeves the foul.
Remember, you have to get the ball going up, not down. And whenever you're on a direct look like that to the basket, 90% of the time, they'll call goaltending.
57-55, Duke trying for 3, gets it.
Big three-point play out of Kubek. He brings a lot of experience, leadership off the bench. Been a little inconsistent in his career, but he's had some really solid moments as well.
Brooks inside, back to Womack.
Not a good shot right there by Womack.
That was a force, and a try by Muehlbach to save it, can't do it.
By keeping that lead coming down the stretch, he keep the crowd quiet and takes away a lot of that adrenaline, a lot of that emotion.
58-55, Duke has the lead.
Look at Hurley leading. Let's go, let's go. He's got 4 fouls, let's go. I mean, just really into the game, has a great understanding of what's happening. You hear him in front of us? Yep.
Kubek looks inside for Leitner, breaks loose, gets his pass through there.
What a great fake. What a great fake. I love those kind of fakes. Look, he likes it too. Look at him smiling.
Back to a 5-point lead for the Blue Devils.
Biggest possession of the game thus far for Arizona. They got to convert here.
Mills, cut off, gives it to Williams.
That's a great look by Chris Mills. They get the triangle offensively. Triangle by having 2 on the boxes and a ball in the middle and dump it to the open Williams.
3-point lead, Duke.
Mills has got to pick it up on a defensive end. I'd attack Mills right now. I'd go to Thomas Hill.
Brooks tries to save it. Sean almost had it.
Watch Leitner with his fake in here. Look, he fakes one way, fakes another. Look at Rooks. Oh, did Rooks fall for it? Look at his reaction. Look at him smile. He says, I like that one. That's a great play.
He's dribbling out in front now. Back to Kubek for 3, won't go down. Rebound, watch that Thomas Hill soar. He can really fly.
He is a soaring devil. I mean, he is flying high. Got that athletic ability from his papa, as we said, in the Olympics in '72 as a hurdler.
Ryan Davis.
Ryan
Davis back now. McCaffrey will have a seat.
Davis and Hill have something in common. Both came to school as McCaffrey goes down as the 3rd recruit and have really upgraded their ability level.
3-point Duke lead. Inside Rooks.
Yeah, Rooks got to slide inside against Kubek. He's got too much size on him.
Ryan Williams. Reverses, count it.
Outstanding move. Just an outstanding move by Williams. And then hugs his teammates. A lot of hugging going on here by both clubs. A whole lot of hugging going on. These Arizona Cats. Now let's go hug each other. Now look at Williams. He spreads. He wants the ball. He says, Leitner, I'm going to show you how to post up. I'm going to spread my body. Look at the head fake. He says, how do you like that one, Leitner? Left-handed Mr. Williams. He makes himself big the way he spreads his body.
Chance to tie it right here.
Third foul on Leitner.
Missed it. Rooks slaps it up.
They'll get Rooks for the foul, I think.
No.
Ooh, they get Hill, maybe? That would be 5 if it's on Thomas.
I don't know. He was sitting on the floor.
I thought he got pushed.
Could be Davis. It is Brian Davis. That's his third.
That's one of those real close calls with all the contact going on. That is a close call to me. Take a look right here. Now the ball goes up. There's Hill trying to keep it active. I mean, I don't see any call there. Come on, give me a break. You don't blow the whistle there, Keith.
Well, there's something wrong with this basket. Duke couldn't make a free throw down here in the first half, barely 50%. Now Arizona can't make one.
I'll tell you what, it was pretty sweet for me yesterday like the Atlantic Ocean. I drilled 17 in a row with that one.
Yeah, I may have to make a comeback. Brooks gets a second. And we're tied at 60.
We got 3 dynamite games in a row now. UCLA, Arizona, last week Indiana, Ohio State. This one looks like it's going to the wire.
Pullback, Williams checking him.
Look at Leitner fighting for position inside.
Good catch by Leitner. And a whistle and a foul. That could be Williams.
Leitner really has worked on developing how to post inside, how to head fake, ball fake.
Othick. We got Othick for his 4th.
Yeah, trying to rotate down to give some help. They're trying to double up on Leitner.
The one man Arizona cannot afford to lose with 8.5 minutes to play is Brian Williams.
Especially with his emotion on the floor as well as naturally his talent and size.
Khaled Reeves is coming back in. And Othick is going to go sit down.
He's been talking a lot of going with a 3-guard offense to play the 3 guards together as well.
They did against Cal the other night.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. They felt they had their best performance against Cal of the year.
That's 19 points now for Christian Leitner.
I thought he had more than 4 rebounds. Let's see his concentration. Let's see his eyes. Tommy Heinsohn used to always say, watch the eyes on a free throw shooter.
62-60 Duke. Reeves against Hurley. Inside Rooks. Over Kubek, won't go down. Williams can't get it down.
Rooks has got to sit down a little bit lower in the post and take advantage of his drop steps.
Kubek to Leitner, back to Hurley for 3. Got it.
That's an excellent move. The inside-outside created by the scoring of Leitner. So unselfish. Draws the ball inside to him and people and fishes it out to Hurley.
And it's back to a 5-point lead and another whistle. And again, it could be Thomas Hill.
It is Hill.
Hill's gone. He's out.
He's gone. It's a big loss down the stretch, Thomas Hill, defensively and offensively. This young man is becoming one of those special players. Watch Leitner now going to slide inside. There's the dump down by Kubek. See the good spacing. Now look at the crowd he draws, 5 people. And he recognizes the wide open Hurley, all created by the presence of Leitner down on the baseline, catching the ball deep.
Grant Hill replaces Thomas Hill. And free throws, Duke is 18 of 26, but Arizona only 18 of 30 and 12 of 20 at this end of the court. 12 of 21.
You know, the coaches do all they can to get the ball inside, take advantage of their personnel. Lou was working on that yesterday, and then at the end of practice, he worked on free throw shooting. But these guys got to come out here and got to concentrate.
65-61, 4-point lead. Duke back after this message and a word from our ABC station. There's our score with 7:58 to play. 4-point lead for the Blue Devils. And at 6:30 Eastern Time tonight, Ted Koppel will have the latest information with pictures from the Persian Gulf and the front. The coaches. Mike Krzyzewski's bench getting a little thin now, what with all the fouls. He's lost 2 players, Crawford Palmer and Thomas Hill. Traveling Leitner.
In this possession right now, they got to go down inside. I say you go to the offensive ability of Rooks down in the box here, and you have Williams take the offensive rebounding position if you were to miss. See, look at the size. He's got Kubek checking the Rooks. You got to bring it here, Reeves, and dump it to Rooks.
Rooks didn't turn and go for it.
No, didn't go to the basket.
Williams does and hits it left-handed.
Well, he's been hitting consistently all year. Had that brilliant game, 14 for 15 against UCLA.
2-point game, Duke 65-63.
I'll tell you one thing, Leitner's a lot stronger in that post than his body looks.
Grant Hill doesn't go. Rebound, knocked outside and picked up by Leitner. Stolen. Reeves did it. 2-on-1. Reeves takes it in.
2-on-1 transition. Stay a little wider. Get it to you, Mike Krzyzewski. Get a little timeout.
Arizona has come storming back to tie it at 65. 6:52 to play in the game. A 60-game home winning string on the line for Arizona. We're tied at 65. We have been tied 13 times in the game. There have been 9 lead changes, and Brian Williams has scored 15 second-half points. He keeps leading the Wildcats back. Twice in this half, Duke has had a 5-point lead.
And he had the 3 fouls at the end of the half and only had 1 basket, but came alive here in the second half.
Crawford Palmer and Thomas Hill have fouled out. Grant Hill drives it home.
That was an amazing move by Grant Hill. That would have brought down the Cameron Crazies down at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Matador defense right there by Williams. Blew right by him.
Williams, they double him. Knock it loose. Whistle, Leitner, I believe. That'll be 4 on Leitner.
Really becoming a major problem for Duke going to the last 6 minutes. Leitner now with 4. Look at Williams sitting in that post. I mean, is he sitting? That's the right way of playing on a post. First, he's got to get his hands up. Oh, there's the foul right across.
Right across the arm. It comes at 6:25 to play in the game.
At the line for Arizona, number 21,
Arizona didn't help themselves last Sunday when they went back east and lost to Georgia Tech at the Meadowlands.
You know what Leitner should have done against him? He should have used the flop move. The Bill Lambier flop move. He's got to learn to work on that flop move.
What is that?
It's a little phony move. You know, you put your chest, your body up, and you flop back.
Oh, you fall back. Yeah.
Bill Lambier's a master at it. Williams has found a home here in Tucson. He really has developed as a player.
Back to a 1-point game now as he makes 1 of the 2.
Duke laying some screens down in the boxes.
Kubek against Mulebach. Hurley's had 2 3-pointers here in the second half. They go into Leitner. It's spoiled, slapped away by Mills. Wildcats move it up.
Excellent deflection. A lot of coaches now chart deflections.
Brooks doesn't get to it. Ball had spinning rotation on it, and it spun away from him.
And Lute Olson looks like he's just ready to go to the dance. I mean, he's dressed as polished as ever. Let's see right now if they go to Grant Hill.
There he is.
Good move. Get Hill on a curl move. Use his driving ability against the
That may be Reeves there. Or Rooks. It's Rooks.
See, that's the one thing that makes Duke a special team, Keith. They know who to go to. They know with each possession who's the key guy, who's the hot guy. Mike Krzyzewski, you should see a practice session. When he's in practice, I mean, this guy is such a masterful teacher.
Grant Hill can't get it to drop. Timeouts. Duke 2, Arizona 3. Team fouls. Duke 10, Arizona 9.
Big miss. Big miss missing those 2. A little air ball chant. 1-point game with 5 minutes. You come up empty on a free throw line. Could hurt. Look at Williams sitting in deep against Leitner with 4. So they're going to double up when Williams touches the ball down inside.
Mills has got Hurley on him. It's time for the shot. They got it.
Nice touch by Chris Mills.
Arizona's back to a 1-point lead at 68-67.
They're going to their zone defensively. Arizona going to that matchup.
Buebach hustles out for Kubek. Too late. Kubek hits 3, and Duke goes back to a 2-point lead.
That was his reputation coming out of high school, a long-range shooter. 60 games in a row, my friends. 60 in a row for the team in white with the basketball.
4:45 to play. Rooks missed it. Rebound, Chris Mills. Wanted a shot. Bounces into the hands of Rooks. And look what I found basket.
Again, size. The size is the difference on that baseline. It's tough to defend those 6'11s around that basket.
Yeah, Duke is at a point now where they cannot afford to rest Christian Leitner. Grant Hill drives the baseline, second effort, gets the basket.
I'll tell you one thing, there's no way Brian Williams can check him out on the perimeter. He just blows by him on the baseline with his quickness.
Inside, Rooks and Williams. Mills drives, cut off, and Buebach gives it up to Mills. Short. Mills over the back, got away with it.
Gonna back it out, put it in the hands of their little leader, their catalyst early. The quarterback, an extension of Krzyzewski, who was a point guard 3 years he played at. See, they're gonna bring him out now.
Yep.
Spread the court and bring him out. Like I said, come and check us one-on-one.
The biggest lead in the game was 7 by Duke, came in the first half. Twice they've led by 5 in the second half.
See,
3.5 minutes to play now. It's 72-70, and Duke is letting the air out of the ball.
He can't check him out here, Brian Williams. Doesn't have the floor speed and the quickness to check Grant Hill. Here's his versatility. Look at him. But he can play on a point.
Bobbled his dribble a little
Oh,
bit.
not a good pass.
Stolen by Khalid Reeves.
Good anticipation by Reeves.
Shot won't go down. Could have waited. Could have shown a little more patience there.
They're going to go to a spread again. Buying some time with Leitner with 4 fouls.
Inside 3 minutes. Home crowd hooting.
Depending on where these two teams are sent and where they're seated, I think we're going to see a lot of these teams in the NCAA tournament.
The team that Mike talked about a lot yesterday was Georgetown.
Well, they can be a sleeper team, but they got to come up with some more scoring.
Hurley against Reeves. Grant Hill drives the baseline and made it.
The one thing you got to love about Grant Hill, Keith, is late in his game, he's becoming a star. He's saying, give me the rock and let me take advantage of my driving ability.
And he's a baby, a true freshman at 74-70. Duke by 4, 2 minutes and 27 seconds to play. That's where we are with 2 minutes and 27 seconds to play in the ball game, and Duke leading Arizona 74-70. And the whole thing is dramatized by the simple fact that Arizona's 60-game home winning streak is on the line. Ted Koppel along at 6:30 Eastern Time with a special ABC News report on the Gulf War.
Keith, right now, Lute Olson's team showed a lot of guts on the road coming back to beat UCLA when they were behind. This possession down 4. They got to try and get a score here out of their big people. Duke really playing their perimeter people tough.
Othick goes inside to Williams. Williams against Leitner. The ball is slapped out of his hands. And Arizona will keep it.
Well, with 2:17 down 4, if they come up empty here and Duke gets the basketball, there could be big trouble.
They're in trouble.
They score here, it's still anybody's game.
Stokes is in there. Kubek's on him. That's advantage Stokes. Inside.
They missed the angle. They had the angle to Brian Williams.
Mills has the ball slapped away. Hurley comes up with it, and Arizona does come up empty.
Those are the little things we talk about, knowing how to win. Bob Hurley, right there, shows the ability, the intangibles, the hustle, the anticipation, and coming out with the loose ball. They're going to spread the court and try to get the ball in the hands of Hill. when they run the clock down for a one-on-one maneuver. See
Brian Davis against Chris Mills. Ryan Williams comes out against Grant Hill. Stokes comes out against Leitner. Stokes has got a foul or two to give. He's only got a couple. Mills hit with one right there, and Mills now has 4 personals. I think the Wildcats are in trouble.
Free throw shooting now becomes really a real big art. So many clubs lose games late in the season. On the line, fatigue sets in. You shoot a basketball with your legs as well as you do with your follow through and your fingertips. He's got 2 attempts here. And the bonus.
Missed the first one.
Wheelback is still a dangerous guy on that court with that 3-point shot. See, Duke's got the crowd kind of quiet except for that baseline where he just missed it.
Williams scoops it off. They come away with nothing on 2 free throws. But Arizona's got to score here. I mean, they've got to get something out of this possession.
They should be able to get some good angles inside because Duke is really extended on a perimeter defensively.
Mills against Grant Hill. Mills gets it away. Hill with 4 fouls, can't play him tough.
Excellent one-on-one move by Chris Mills, penetrating into the 3-second area with a high percentage shot. Luke's got to like that shot.
Duke by 2 at 1:09 to play. Duke by 2 at 1:09 to go, and the Arizona 60-game home winning streak on the line. I keep telling you that because that will be the headline tomorrow. Next Sunday, we've got a doubleheader for you. 2 Eastern time, Big Ten matchup, Michigan State against number 2 Ohio State. Then at 4 Eastern, regional coverage, Minnesota, Michigan, or 3rd-ranked Arkansas against the Longhorns of Texas.
Hey, that matchup, Michigan State and also with Ohio State, could be for Player of the Year in a Big Ten. Jimmy Jackson and Steve Smith. Could be a little revenge, too. Michigan State beat them earlier this year. Let's see how they handle the ball here late in the game. Going to spread. There's the trap.
Got to trap Hurley. McCaffrey is back in. Oh, they throw it in the backcourt. Let it go. Arizona ball.
The reason they bring McCaffrey in is the ball handling ability, and they also bring him in for his free throw shooting ability. Kubik's saying it was deflected. Deflected.
I don't think so.
So does Mike. He says deflected.
Well, I didn't see it.
It's tough for here to see it from over there.
Brian Davis comes in. McCaffrey comes out. Want the bigger man in there.
Duke really has not capitalized late in the game. 2 missed free throws by Hill, 2 missed ones by Davis, and then the turnover.
Here's Williams against Leitner, and a travel on Williams.
Good call by Richie Ballesteros. Duke is really giving life to Arizona with the way they're handling the ball late in the game. Going to their defensive team in quickness now. Now watch him inside. Now let's see if he does a little shuffle, little dance. Little dance. Oh, yeah, he picks the pivot foot. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he won't. Yep.
So they're going for quickness on the floor. Lute Olson, good coaching maneuver. Brings in Womack and Reeves.
There's the foul on Womack.
Well, he's going to make the little diaper dandy go to the line. He really airballed one about 2 minutes ago.
That's 3 on Womack now.
Both these coaches really know strategy on a sideline. In fact, when you talk about a coach, I really believe it starts with 3 basic ingredients. 1, he better recruit. 2, he better be a communicator and a motivator. And 3, he better be able to handle the technical end of the game, the bench strategy, and the game preparation. These 2 guys do it as well as any 5 in the United States.
Here's the game, quite likely right here.
Well, if he makes 1, they still got a shot with possession for the 3-point play.
Made the first one. 12 points now for Grant Hill.
He really looked comfortable on that shot right there. I'll tell you what impressed me is the ability of Grant Hill to isolate and show versatility in taking the ball one-on-one against Brian Williams.
Four-point lead for Duke at 47 seconds to play in the game.
Well, they still need 2 possessions so they can go inside. You don't need the 3 right now. You got to get the quick score.
Wheelbox got to put it up. Goes inside Williams. Williams got the basket against Leitner, just rode him right off the court.
That's a good move right there by Arizona. A lot of teams I see usually panic, Keith, and they start to shoot the three.
Yep.
They don't need the three because you need 2 possessions.
Yep. Well, Arizona, early on, and go back to halftime, when they had 16 turnovers, though. I mean, they did not play well in the first half of the game.
Well, they turned the ball over, but Duke did not take advantage of the turnover and convert off it, and they kept them in the game. Duke also shot so poorly in the His clubs have been through this in a tough ACC.
Look at this. They got Womack in for defense, quickness.
Yep, quickness. Reeves also for some quickness.
Williams playing the safety position.
They're going to face guard. Try and deny the ball in bounds. Beat him to the spot.
Leitner gets it over Othick. They shot it. They tie it.
Great steal.
Timeout by Duke. Otherwise, they would have lost the ball.
Normally, you don't see Duke panic like they did in that possession. They really panicked with the basketball, turned it over, sloppy reverse pass by Christian Leitner to Grant Hill, and the Arizona Wackos say, hey, Cameron Crazies, we can go wacky too. Now see, here's the trap. Now look at the clock. There's the reverse, but it's a tough pass to handle. Great play by Othick to pounce on the ball, and he dumps it to Womack.
Matt Othick just redeemed himself completely with that play. He had a tough first half particularly, but he was in there clawing and scratching.
That was Muehlbach, not Othick, Keith. Watch right here. See Muehlbach 24? Here he comes rotating over. Now he's going to pop the ball loose. His hustle, his scrappy ability, and he pounces it to Womack.
I understand, but it was Othick that shut the door and made him throw the ball there, and it was Muehlbach, the man who said this morning that I want to go home and never lose a game at home during my 4 years at Arizona.
Yeah, that is a heck of an accomplishment. And I'll tell you, Duke has really played sloppy, something you don't see late in the game. The missed free throws, mishandling the ball. But you got to give a lot of credit to Arizona, their coaching strategy, and also their tenacity and the ability not to quit and fold. And when you got 60 in a row, you don't fold.
Womack, Muehlbach, Reeves, Othick, and Williams.
Base guarding, too, trying to make it tough to get him down.
Grant Hill inbounds it to Bobby Hurley.
Don't want a foul here.
Leitner to the baseline, and there's a whistle down there, and the foul is called on Brian Williams.
See, I don't think that was a good possession by Duke. Now, they ended up going to the free throw line, so that can be the positive. But really, with a tie game, possession in the basketball, unless he had the high percentage layup right there, you back it out and you try to get that high percentage shot right down, take the clock to its final moment.
Leitner goes to the line for Duke. Is there some irony there, huh?
Yeah, remember as a freshman, shooting a one-on-one with 1 second to go, down 2. Little less pressure, though, Keith, because the score is tied, then down to 1 second. Got to make both one-on-oneers. He missed actually the one-on-one. Everybody knows that in that game. Listen to this crowd.
1-point lead, Duke.
Comfortable as can be on that free throw, but remember this now, a lot of time left for Arizona.
12.2 seconds. No timeouts, though, for Arizona. Made them both.
Now let's see what they do. They're going to run it up into the big guy and go for the OT. I say you go for the OT and try to get to overtime at home.
Brooks for the basket.
There it is. Great play.
Duke had the timeout to spend, and they stop it at 1.6.
Great play. They come up with the conversion against UCLA. They went
0, but it's 1.6.
See, they're going to put Womack up on the baseline with his size, trying to umbrella and to bother the inbouncing of the basketball.
Well, we'll sit here for a moment until they get 1.6 back on the clock. Rebounded against Womack. Ryan Davis is against Muehlbach. They look to go deep with it. Leitner comes out. Othick spoils it. Ball goes out of bounds, and we're in OT.
I think a smart decision by Lute Olson in Arizona to dump the ball inside for Brooks and to go for the OT, especially at home.
We will be back with overtime and ABC's college basketball after this word from our ABC station. Foul trouble as we go to it. Palmer's out. Thomas Hill is out. Grant Hill playing with 4. So is Christian Leitner for Duke. Arizona, Williams has 4. Mills has 4. Othick 4.
So uncharacteristic the way Duke handled the end of the game. Really did not play like a typical Duke basketball team down the stretch.
Into Rooks against Kubek. Big advantage Rooks. They hook it to Williams. And Bryan hits it. And Arizona goes to the lead.
Well, they go to the 2 big horses. They go to Williams. They go to Rooks to get it to OT. They go to Williams to get the advantage. Let's see, Grant Hill now should go one-on-one.
Hurley got loose. Gives it up for Kubek's 3.
What a great look by Bobby Hurley. He was aware of the presence of Kubek, who spotted up on the 3-point line.
Back into Williams.
Oh, they missed Rooks. He was wide open.
Williams left hands it and gets a roll.
Just too big inside, Keith. That physical strength, that power down to the baseline. Rooks and Williams.
5-minute overtime. We've burned a minute. Kubek finally gets it back to Hurley. Grant Hill, remember, has 4. So does Christian Leitner. Hurley bounces it away to Leitner.
Bobby Hurley has just made 2 sensational plays. The one where he flared the ball out to Kubek, and then the little drop bounce pass to Leitner. The great look. Had his head up, good vision. That's a quarterback. That's the
83-82. Duke leads by 1. Back to Rooks inside. He's fouled by Hurley.
Hurley rotating down, trying to trap, trying to double up. Lute Olson really played a great compliment as we look at the game reset here. Each get 1 extra timeout in the OT, so they both have 1. Look at the team fouls are in the bonus. Possession goes to Duke. But he paid a great compliment in today's paper. He said, Bob Hurley and Christian Leitner are the heart and guts of this basketball team. He says Hurley is such a catalyst to this team. He does exactly what you want a quarterback to do. Pressure the basketball and distribute the basketball.
Blue Devils are going to have a long night. They're probably get a good Mexican dinner. And they got a 12:30 plane back to the East Coast.
I flew with the Duke team here today, and I can tell you this. For the president of Duke and all the people at Duke, you talk about class, Keith. You should have seen the way they handled themselves on that plane.
80. Brooks didn't even get it up there. We're even at 82.
Not getting that follow through on his free throw. It's a little short.
You know, they took that shot by Kubek. They took it away. It's not a 3-pointer. Make it a 2-pointer.
Oh, they made it a deuce. They changed it.
Duke comes out of there with that rebound as Rooks misses 2 free throws. And we're at 3:20 in the overtime. Into Leitner. Rooks is on him right now. Hurley way out. Won't go. Rebound. Bryan Williams.
Bryan Williams has become a star.
Now's the time for some poise and patience. Nope, they go to Rooks and he takes it right home.
Get the great angle. They have the tremendous angle to the baseline. He posted up really strong. Excellent post move by Rooks. He's a bona fide big-time post player.
Grant Hill gives it up. And Brian Davis is fouled. At 2:45 to go in the overtime, and Arizona leading 84-82.
It really blows my mind when I think about a guy like Sean Rooks with his ability, and to think that he doesn't exert himself a little bit more defensively.
Ted Koppel will be along at 6:30 with a special report on the Gulf War from ABC News. If we go past 6:30, I'm told that we will join it in progress. Davis misses.
He missed 2 big ones also near the end of the game, Brian. Tough defensive effort he gave the other night. I was in the stands when they played North Carolina State, and he locked up Rodney Monroe. Not an easy job to do in the second half. Held him to 4 points.
He got one of them. So we're back to the odd number now at 1 point. 84-83, Arizona.
They're really executing well on the boxes now.
Inside, intended for Bryan Williams. He went one way, the ball the other, and Duke's got it.
Well, they didn't have the angle. Should have got the ball over to the wing.
Sloppy ball handling all day long at times by both teams.
Both teams really exerting themselves though defensively, Keith.
Yep. Leitner inside, hooks it, no. And Kubek goes thundering in and maybe whistled for the foul right there as Muehlbach gets up limping. It is Kubek, and it's his fourth.
Little limp right there by Matt Muehlbach, really, really hurting. He's a good free throw shooter, though. He'd be the guy you'd want on the line if you're Lute Olson.
You may have to take him out after the free throw.
He's a gutted guy. He's going to want to shoot these. He's one of their premier free throw shooters.
Oh, he's going to shoot the free throw. He's got Womack up. And Womack, I think, is going to come in for Muehlbach right after he shoots.
Yeah, for defense, if he converts these. This is another example as Womack's coming in for defense with Rooks.
Yeah.
But see, when your legs are not into it, you can't get your legs into your shot, and that's what really affected Muehlbach, an excellent shooter.
Got the second. 85-83, Arizona by 2. McCaffrey in for Duke. Grant Hill, Ryan Davis, Christian Leitner, Hurley with the ball.
And a double screen right there for Billy McCaffrey. Come over a double stack. McCaffrey can shoot the ball. Leitner wanted the ball there. Oh, did he want the ball?
Grant Hill, no. Rebound, out of bounds, and it's off Hill, I believe.
What great hustle, though, by Grant Hill. Tremendous hustle by both clubs. Hasn't been really a well-played game, but an intense game.
85-83, Arizona, 1:41 to play in the overtime.
See now, Duke, the pressure's on. They have to come up with a big defensive stop right here.
I think trap and a whistle and a foul, Hurley.
See, the one great asset they have, two guards that can make free throws. And when you talk about the big games at postseason time, so many of them are determined by that free throw line. As you look at Jesse Evans on the left, along with Lute Olson.
I think going to the line now with 2 shots.
Had a tough first half with those 5 turnovers. That's a big point right there.
He's played outstanding basketball the last 10 minutes.
Made some real good decisions. He initially signed in New Mexico, then committed verbally to UNLV, and then ultimately came here.
Williams got the rebound, rose it up, and he won't go down. 86-83.
Still alive.
Wow.
Keeps Duke alive. He converts that, Keith, it would have been all over.
Yep.
Muehlbach really matching up on McCaffrey. He knows that he wants to use the screen for the jumper.
Hurley from the corner, got it.
His roommate, he says, McCaff, get me the rock, baby. And Hurley spots up. They reverse roles. Instead of the point guard going to the shooter goes to the point guard.
2 points. Ryan Williams loses the ball, dives on it. It's rolling around, and Ballesteros has called a foul on McCaffrey.
I'll tell you, that was created by the hustle of Ryan Williams. If he would have pouted and sulked and just sat there, Duke would have come up with that loose ball.
87-86. Williams going to the line for Arizona. Arizona leading by 1, and we welcome all of you who have been watching the other games. 58.6 seconds left to play in overtime. And the scoreboard is now, it should be 86 apiece, shouldn't it? Scoreboard showing 87, and that can't be right. It's 86 apiece. There it is.
Ryan Williams, a 68% shooter, Keith, on that free throw line. He's had an intense second half.
58.6 seconds. Well, how much happened in the regulation times last minute, huh?
Unbelievable. This guy's had some second half.
misses the free throw. Remember, those of you who have just joined, this is the building where the Arizona Wildcats have a 60-game home winning streak.
Arizona really struggling on that free throw line.
Two.
You saw that percentage. Well, let's see what Duke does with this possession right here. Can he use some clock?
Leitner comes out to help. Tie game at 86.
Right now, your option's got to be Leitner on the inside, McCaffrey on the perimeter. See, they're going to their delay game, trying to get a backdoor cut after they run the clock. We're in isolation. There's the
Grant
isolation.
Hill is fouled by Brian Williams and will shoot 2.
What a great call by the Duke coaches. They go to the wings and they go to the situation where they isolate. They isolate.
That's the 5th foul for Brian Williams. He's out of the game.
See, they isolate Grant Hill against Williams. He can't check him. He needs help. But you can't get help in the kind of offensive set that Duke was in. Played a great second half, though. This guy, you ready for this? In the first half, he was 1 for 2. He had 4 points. Finished with 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists. He has finally lived up to all the expectations that were laid on him last year. He
gets the standing ovation. He goes out now. Ed Stokes, the 7-footer, the sophomore, has got to come in here and assume the role.
Not bad when you can go to a guy like Stokes who's been starting to come in for you. They have the big 3 that they can rotate, Rooks, Stokes, and Williams.
Grant Hill, my goodness. Freshman, 6'7", 205, Reston, Virginia. Daddy Calvin Hill. 29.7 seconds to play in overtime.
Got it. That's a 3rd in a row he has made. He missed his 2 a little bit earlier, then he made 3 in a row. As you look at Williams, putting a little towel on his face, perspiring. This guy has really become a grown-up, I think, today. I'm impressed with the way he has attacked the basket. He hasn't been passive. I think in the other games I've seen him, he's had a tendency to be a little too passive.
Duke by 2, 88-86, into Rooks, double, turns. He's got Stokes available. They don't get it to him and go back to Rooks. He's doubled and it's knocked out of bounds at 15 seconds to play.
Great job of cutting his angle on his drive.
Bielbach will play it in. Ted Koppel next with a report from the Persian Gulf. Shot by Chris Mills ties the game at 88. Bobby Hurley.
Got to get it to Hill. I'd get it to Hill for a one-on-one.
Arizona's got the ball. It's good. Close.
And
you've got a second overtime in this ball.
Hey, call up Dennis Swanson. Do we get overtime? Our president? I mean, every week.
Absolutely incredible ball game this has been.
Wow.
We're going to a second overtime, 88-88 after the first one between Duke and Arizona. And I should tell you that the special report, ABC News, the Gulf War with Ted Koppel, will be next, except on the West Coast. 5-minute overtime. Brian Williams fouled out in the first overtime. We may not have many folks left.
I'll tell you one thing. You think Duke's going to make their flight at 12:30?
I don't know.
See, right now, Williams is out of the game, but again, the advantage to Arizona because they have the bodies to rotate. Start this with a jump ball. You start this with a jump ball. You don't start with alternate possession. This starts with a jump ball. Lute's right. Jump ball.
We started the last overtime.
Overtime start with a jump ball.
Yeah, Richie.
Look at Richie.
Laughing about it.
Look at Mike. He's calm as can be. Looks like a banker. Everybody's a little tired.
I'll guarantee you.
Alternate possession doesn't go here on an overtime.
No.
You start the game with a jump ball, and you start the overtime with a jump ball, and you give each team one timeout more.
Slap deep in backcourt. Othick runs it down, and the Wildcats will get the first opportunity. Chris Mills has been pretty quiet of late.
Oh, Duke rotated his zone for the first time.
Yep, going to a 2-3 zone. They had worked on it earlier in the week.
Well, they're trying to protect some people. They're tired, a little fatigued, and the zone gives you a chance to
but
rest
that makes,
a little.
look at Stokes. See, Stokes has got Grant Hill on him. He's got a huge advantage. Sean Rooks has got a big advantage over him as well.
Well, if they overload on that side of the floor, see if they go with Othik right now and get the angle, they're going to overload. They're going to send Mills.
Now to Stokes inside. Othik back outside. Now they'll let Muhlbach take it. Good.
Poor job right there by Kubek, not getting a hand up. Didn't get a hand in the face of Muhlbach.
Three-pointer.
Now they got Rooks playing against Hill.
Stokes on Leitner. Leitner misses the shot. Got a foul called on Davis.
I think Leitner's really fatigued because watching him shoot that ball, he did not shoot with any kind of legs. There's the home winning streaks.
That's what the scrap is.
Those two go head-to-head tomorrow. UNLV, can they break that 29-game win streak in Aggie Land? New Mexico State, Las Cruces. You told me it's a great place. I've never been there. No, it's fun. Yeah, I've never been there. Looking forward to it tomorrow.
Kind of out of the way a bit, but...
See, they each get one more timeout. That's why they have 2 remaining. Both are in a bonus. I thought that Leitner really looked tired in that last possession. And he should be tired. The pounding he's had to take from all those big people.
He had a little bit of rest in the first half. That's all he's had.
He's saying, where are you, Cherokee? Why couldn't you be here this year, Cherokee Park? Great high school player will be
them both. And it's now 93-88, 5-point lead, Arizona.
Well, you'd have to say this is a must possession.
Kubek inside Leitner. Hooks it up. No. Rebound. Stokes had it. And they blow a foul on Kubek. If it's Kubek, it's 5.
See, I really believe that Christian is really hurting a little bit physically right now in terms of fatigue. Watch when he catches the ball down inside here. I don't see any kind of leg power, any kind of power out of his legs in terms of exploding on his shot. What an outstanding college game, though, Keith. I keep trying to tell you, it's not like this in football.
You're going to have to come with me. I'll show you.
Hey, you know what? I got a lot of calls from guys during the week after I said that to you. They said, boy, do you forget. 3 weeks earlier, right by your house in the Super Bowl. I forgot about it.
Muhlbach on the line for 2. 2 here. Pretty tough.
He makes this. They're up 7, Keith, with 3:42. The other day, I had a game, Michigan and Purdue. Purdue was down 7 away from home in the OT and came back and won it.
7-point lead. McKale is in the game at the guard spot with Hurley. Ryan Davis, Leitner, and Grant Hill. Othik on Hurley. Hurley inside, got it.
Is he a tough little competitor? Spots the opening in the defense. He drives through there with such confidence, and he converts in a must situation.
Othik.
He's fanning him, taking him to the sideline. Othik nose down and wants to spin back to the middle of the court. They're going to use some clock right here. Well coached.
Somebody's got to come help.
He picked up his dribble.
Mills does now.
See, Grant Hill should have beat him to the spot there with quickness.
Grant's playing in his second overtime with 4 fouls.
He's playing one of the better off.
Mills gets inside. Leitner knocks the ball out of his hands. It's rolling around, and finally it's slapped out of bounds by Stokes. And Duke's going to get the ball. 2:40 to play.
Arizona could have really shut the door if they would have scored there. Now they give again a little life to Duke. And this guy seems to always find a way to make something big happen with a possession. There's the double stack along the baseline. Oh, trying to curl move from McCaffrey.
Hurley for 3. Doesn't go. Womack the rebound.
Now you talk about using some clock. They get into a little bit of their delay. Spread the court. Keep switching on any lateral movement.
95-90 Arizona inside. Chris Mills, free one.
A breakdown by Grant Hill defensively. Easy basket by Mills.
Grant Hill is so tired he can hardly walk.
He is really dragging.
Hurley goes around, I think, gives it up, bounces out to Leitner. That won't go down. Mills battling inside for the rebound, and we got a whistle and a foul on Mills.
You know, it's amazing. You look at Bobby Hurley. He doesn't look tired at all. He's still playing with that same spark.
Brooks is going to come back. Mills is gone.
Womack is coming out, but Womack, I think he wants to keep him out there.
Yeah, we'll have to keep Womack out. Now Reeves is coming.
Oh, I see. They're going to go maybe to a three-guard set now.
Yep.
They're going to go to Reeves, Womack, and Outfit.
Well, that's what they practice.
These two transfers, there they are, hugging one another. Says, I love you, Chris. I love you. 18 big ones, Chrissy, baby.
1:47 to go in the second overtime. 97-90 Arizona. It looks like they will maintain their home winning streak and push it to 61 consecutive games.
And were they tested at all today or what? Oh.
And it drops through for Grant Hill, and let's check in with Cheryl Miller.
Well, Keith and Dick, if there's going to be an MVP of the game, it has to go to the crowd. The fan support here has been unbelievable. You got to consider this. There are no professional sports in Tucson, so the Wildcats are the main attraction. This crowd won't simply allow this team to lose here.
Rebound, picked off, middle of the lane by Othick. Dueling now with Hurley. And it seems that the Wildcats have control.
So they're going to their spread offensively, spreading the court, putting the ball in the hands of the little guards. Use the big people as release men.
Buhlbach to Rooks, slams it in there, and that's it.
That's Clinic 101 and how to run the spread game, penetrate, dump it down.
McCaffrey doesn't get it. Rebound, Rooks.
It's over, Mr. J. It's over.
99-91, and coming up on a minute.
61 in a row. Intentional foul right there.
But as you would have expected, Duke gave it a game try.
Oh, they're just a bunch of tough kids. Let's paint the significance of the game.
As we remind you again that Ted Koppel comes along with a special report on the Gulf War, except on the West Coast.
Keith, I really believe that Arizona now stays in the hunt for a #1 seed. I think it's a lock, UNLV in the West, Arkansas Southeast, Ohio State in the Midwest. Who will go to the East? Will it be North Carolina? Will it be Syracuse? Will it be Indiana? Will it be Arizona? Or will it be Duke? It will be a team, I believe, that finishes super strong. Arizona can make a case. They've beaten Arkansas. They've beaten some good people like East Tennessee State. And now beating Duke and plus UCLA twice, they can make a case if they win their next 4. Stanford and then next 5. And then 4 times in a row against Oregon and Oregon State.
Early again with the foul, but it's now just a matter of running out the clock.
They have that unique scheduling. I see where they play Stanford, then they play Oregon, Oregon State on the road, and then they come back with Oregon and Oregon State.
Yep.
These kids, though, there's Tommy Amica. I think he's got the makings of Peter Cadet, who's going to be the head coach at West Point, coached in Kuwait. I think Tommy Amica is one of the next bright young assistants. In about 4 years, I'll be a head coach somewhere. He's a leader, former point guard, great school at Duke. He's been part of a winning tradition. Mike Krzyzewski went on and on with me and said he will be the next Randy Ayers as a head coach on a collegiate level. Intelligent as you can imagine, just a class act.
Antonio Lang just checked into the ball game for Duke. He's the young man who came out of Mobile to go to school in Durham.
He was a valedictorian in high school. He was a high school All-American. A little bit of a good player at Duke. Not getting the kind of playing time I'm sure he'd like, but he'll eventually get it.
Second one doesn't go. It's 101-91. It's a 10-point lead, and the time ticking away, as you see there. Leitner puts it up. Hill rebounds it. McCaffrey tries for the shot, can't get it. Leitner takes it inside for two.
Nice pass by McCaffrey. They've done an excellent job in scouting Noah McCaffrey's the shooter. Look at the strength of this guy with the rock in his hand. He's so strong with the ball. Khalid Reeves. Not a bad record. Hasn't lost a game in 4 years at home. Matt Muehlbach.
That's a remarkable thing to be able to brag about when you're 60 years old.
Oh, wow. Last loss, 1987, Tim Hardaway, Texas El Paso in the NCAA tournament when they were hosting it, and at that time you could play on your home floor. This year they're hosting it here, but they cannot play here. Most likely, UNLV probably will be sent right here to Tucson. I know one thing, if I'm Arizona, I would want to be number 2 in the West.
No, sir. Hill to Leitner, and he lets it go for three. No good. Rebound. Davis pops it back out to Hill for three. He got it.
Grant Hill's really had himself an excellent game here. He's had an excellent game. We talk about the great freshman in America, Sean Bradley of Brigham Young University. This guy's got the makings of one. Eventually will be very good. Khalid Reeves. Jarvis Lang down in North Carolina, Charlotte. Jamal Faulkner. What a great pass.
Muehlbach out in front, missed it, but so what? The game is over.
61 in a row. And look at this guy. Is he happy? Oh, Christian's not happy.
Arizona 103, Duke 95, and the beat goes on for the Wildcats.
Wow, just a great game, great environment, Keith. Look at these